welcome back to another fan mini episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite R&B song. I am Naturally Elite, and this is my bro.
We already.
I'm like, who time is it?
Already, they are.
And we are the R&B representatives, not just me. And today we are bringing back a good friend of the show and a friend of mine, Lydia. Hey, boo.
Hi, y'all. Hey, everybody. I'm back.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
We had a snafu or two before. No fault of Lydia's.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
God, I'm here. Okay. But yes, for folks who may not have caught your first episode, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, as much or as little as you like to share.
Sure. I'm Lydia Marie. The first episode I was on was talking about the bridge killer, Todd George, on
Yeah.
Use Your Heart. The best SWV song, period. That was my first episode. And now I'm back today, all the way around on the interwebs. You can catch me at Beauty by El Marie. And I'm ready. I'm back. I'm excited. Thanks for having me, of course.
Yeah, we are happy. So, what song did you pick to talk about? And then let us know the first time you remember hearing it, if you do.
I picked my Anita Baker jam. You know, everybody has their Anita Baker song, but You Bring Me Joy is my Anita Baker song. That is my favorite song of all time from her. The first memory I have of it is listening to it in my aunt's car. She dated a guy from Detroit, so he would always bring her the albums, like, and take her to see Anita Baker whenever she was up there, whatever. And she would play Rapture. I'm caught up in the Rapture on repeat in the car, in the cassette, just play it, play it, play it. So anytime I was in the car with her, I would hear the album. But this song, I have an appreciation for as a grown up because it's so good. It's just so good. So that's what I'm talking about today.
Yeah. And it's one of those songs, it's so many different elements of it that's great. And
yes.
they come together seamlessly.
And you know what? I love the drama. It's so dramatic. I love a good dramatic song. Like from the piano intro to the big note at the beginning. It's like, what is going on here? It's so good. And it just keeps going, you know, throughout the song. She doesn't calm down in the song. She's really like putting her all into it. I love the drama. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
I had to cough it out.
And it's like, yes, I like that you mentioned that. It's like it's a consistent drama. No worries. It's a consistent drama throughout the whole song, and it's almost like it goes to a crescendo, like it just goes up, up, up.
Bridge, obviously, we all know how I feel about bridges. You know, I was like, she's just singing down, and it's dramatic, it's so sincere. And you know that whoever she is singing about at that time, she really mean that. Like, you really, really bring this woman the joy. And you know how happiness is, you happy for the minute, right? But joy is like that sustaining, that feeling. So when you hearing it, you like, man, you give me that feeling, we good. Yeah.
You know,
sure.
You know, I'm very happy, Lydia, because like you said, me and you always on the same page.
Right.
SWV, that was your favorite joint, Use Your Heart, and this is my favorite Anita song, period. Because like it's so dramatic. R&B representatives are very dramatic. So of course we would like to talk.
Yes.
So
yes.
And then she just sings so effortlessly. Like, it's just so, like, coming out of sweet love. You know what I mean? And then come this, and it's just so, it's like you said, joy. Because you're happy, but when somebody give you joy, that's some love right there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Always on a Valentine's Day list for me. It was always on that, because that song describes what you want. Yeah, I want to be happy and all that stuff, but give me some joy. Make
that
me
joy.
Like,
to the point that I'm singing so hard.
like,
I'm telling you, thank you, baby. At the end, like I'm singing, I'm so grateful for that joy that I'm screaming out to you, thank you, baby. Come on, that's love.
You baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
deep with it. Like, nobody but Anita.
Yeah,
Nobody. And
nobody.
to have Dawn that did the saxophone. I'm bringing that in. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and say it, Elise. Go ahead and say it. Say it.
Oh, what? You don't like the saxophone?
She liked it.
No, I love JR. I used to be messing with you. I love horns. I love all instruments.
No, but I wanted you to say it. That's why.
Hey, fans, viewers, did y'all know that JR loves horns? Back to the rest.
You were so corny like that.
Back to you in the studio, JR.
Oh my! You know, so Don, he played with like Donny Hathaway. He played with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that sax solo that he does, and then like you said, it's like the bridge of it, and then Anita comes out of it. It was just this is just a perfect song. You know what I mean?
Perfect song.
And to think that because again, I think we all here know liner notes, right? So I'm like, did Anita write this? Because like you said, Lydia, you feel her. Like, is this written from her? Because her all the way up and through this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I looked at it and I saw David
Lastly.
That's his name, Lastly. I'm sorry, y'all. Names, please don't shoot me in the face. But Lastly, so David Lastly, right? So I was like, I've seen this name before. Like, I've seen him before because, again, liner notes here. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know him from Chic.
Yeah.
But he used to do backgrounds with Chic, him and Luther. And I was just like...
And I know that from my mom's records because she had Chic's records. And I remember that name. Yes. And I remember that name.
And then after that, I was like, wait a minute. I know this song because I was like, I remember hearing this song before. And I was like, wait, this was Norman Connor off of Take It to the Limit album. And I forgot what the singer was. Elise, you remember what her name was? I forgot. It starts with an A, but I can't think of it.
Aretha.
That's it.
Okay.
I couldn't think of it. It would start with an A. And I heard it before, but her version and Anita's version is completely like different.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Anita took it somewhere and it was just like, whoo, you know what I'm saying? Because I think we all know Norman Connors is more about the instrumentation. That's what he wants to shine. He's not a singer. That's not him. You know what I mean? So he wants his instruments to shine. But Anita is like,
I learned something new. I gotta listen to that. Yes, I have to listen to that.
Yeah.
But JR, but in Anita's version, all the instrumentation shines just as much as Aretha. But in the other version, the instruments overpower the singer, who is a great singer. It's more about, so yes, you are so right.
Yeah, because but we all know Anita. Anita's like, I'm gonna shine and you, not just y'all.
Right.
I am. We know
the background vocals were there and they were perfect, but it still did not take away from that feeling that she gives that song, that feeling. Because I feel like other people maybe can sing it. Like only other person I can honestly hear singing is Vesta. I mean, because Vesta, I can hear her, you know, that tone and everything that she has. She can hit the big notes. They would sound a little different. But Vesta could have sang this song, but the feeling would be a little different to me, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
My house or something, because
no, JR literally said that for you came on.
Yes.
No, honest to God.
And the reason why I said that is because I've been listening and I posted something about Vesta today. That's why I'm like, Lydia, girl, we here, y'all.
We We are here. We see each other, okay?
I can see Vesta doing that, yo. Like, and Vesta, and I would love to see Vesta do it live because she's so dramatic. God. She brings her, you know, her funny and all that into it. You know who I can see as a dude doing it though? If y'all maybe agree, Duran.
Uh-oh. Really?
Oh, Duran, you said?
Yeah.
I know he could hit the notes. I know for sure. His feeling would be different. I would be interested to see the character that he would bring to the song. Yeah. So I'm intrigued. Yeah.
That thing is a character.
Yeah. True. That is true. So he would give us a show. Yeah. We would get a show for sure.
Right. And he's so dramatic. So it would make so much sense. Like, and y'all like said, this song is dramatic from beginning to end.
It is.
Gives dramatics, and Duran will give you so much dramatics on this, vocally and all that.
You know what? You might have a point.
Duran, come on and listen to what we saying up in this.
Okay. You might have a point. It's just so that feeling that she has when I just can't. Every time I listen to that song, you know how you have a Spotify playlist or a title playlist and it pops up what you've been listening to all the time. That song is like number 3 because it's always in rotation. That and Sweet Love is always like back and forth. But this song is just when everybody has their Anita Baker song, that's my song. This song is just like, that's it for me. She did it. She just did it. Like, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, Anita, I'm so glad she's back and in the arena and performing and got her record deals and all that stuff straight because she deserves it. Like, everything. She deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then going back to your point, JR, about the instrumentation, I'm still stuck on that, is it makes sense that she know how to play nicely with instruments because she's from a band.
Chapter 8.
That's right.
So it makes all the sense. She knows how to play nicely.
She can sing right before that saxophone hits and hit the right note, the same as the saxophone. Make it sound like the piano when she comes back in. When his solo is done, it's got to be. She does that same with the piano. The piano and her are like, you're right. You are right, girl. Yes. Yes, I get it. I gotta see it. I see it now. I hear it now. I hear it.
She's another instrument in the band, and you know, you get horn solo, you get piano solo, and you get Anita solo.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about that when we was talking about compositions with Keith, and we was like how Anita works so great to let a band shine. She like, look, y'all, we all in this together. Yes, I'm the vocalist, but I want y'all to shine just along with me. We all gonna be the stars here. So when you think about Bring Me Joy, you're thinking about the sax. You're thinking about Anita's vocal. You're thinking about Greg Hayes on that piano. You're thinking about everybody.
Come on, Greg. Come on, Greg. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you're thinking about everybody on that. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes Anita so great because a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people can't. Wait a minute. I don't think that's Greg. I had to think for a second.
On the piano?
Nah, I think that's oh God.
Sir Grant.
Who is it?
Sir Grant?
Yes, that's him.
Sir Grant.
He's on keys. He's on keys.
It's so good. And you can tell too, like you said, you can tell that she knows, like she can hear it, you know, because a lot of singers can't hear the band and they'll do their own thing and the band kind of has to catch up or it'll be the opposite. But she can hear, I feel like she can hear where they're going and then she'll go, or they can like follow her and then, you know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of works perfectly together.
I was so smart about the whole thing of Vesta can redo this song. She's singing around on.
Yeah, yes, she is. And I hear it now. I hear that. And I'm like, that Vesta was my girl. Okay. Yes. And just heard those two together. Perfect.
Especially in the back, you can really, really hear on the background parts that sound like a choir. That's when you really hear when it's like,
Yeah, that's Vesta, honey. And you know she was just back there singing down. You know she was.
Oh
Mm.
yeah. Oh,
Mm. That's my girl.
it's making me laugh because I put up this clip today about Vesta talking about how she got her deal with A&M and how she went in there with two other chicks. Cause she was like, cause we all know she used to do background for Shaka. You know,
Right.
she's Shaka Williams or Vesta Khan, one or the other. And she said she went in there with two other girls and they wanted to have them like they were the Vanity Six, because that's what was hot then. And she said they went in there and she gave them her tape or whatever. And obviously you can tell this is when record execs clearly didn't know who was singing background on what, because Vesta done did so much background work by this time. How do you not know who she is? You know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to be industry, but that's how the record industry is. Catch that. But but it was like she said, you know, she gave him a tape, and the guy was like, "Well, who did the background vocals?" She said, "Me." She was like, "Well, who did the lead vocals?" "Me." So he was like, "Well, what they do?" He was like, "Well, so he was like, well, I'm gonna sign all of y'all." And she was like, "Okay, I'm happy." And he was just like, "Well, do you have anything else that you want to say?" Vesta was like, "I don't want to be in a group."
Can you imagine?
I don't want to be in a group. No. And mind you, she used them to get
in the door.
To get in the door. Because she was like, "Hey, if I'm going to get in the door this way." And then Donnie's sister was like, he was like, "Come on, Vesta, that was me." She was like, "Them trams couldn't sing." So
I cannot imagine. I don't blame her.
She was like, "No." You know,
what was she gonna be, a doo-wop pop chick? Right. Can you imagine? No, ma'am.
That's too powerful. It's too powerful. And
too
like
much.
This record, you can hear it. You can hear Vesta clear as day on this record.
As day.
You know,
sounding like butter, just blending with everything.
It's like four of them on background, and she's the only, her and Anita is the only two females, but you hear her.
Yeah. This song, this is just that girl. I mean, it's just that I go to it and like I can put the album on shuffle, but I'm going back to You Bring Me to, like I'm going back to that. Like I feel that. I just feel it. It's just that feeling that you get from her, and she just putting her all into it and bringing it there. Church, the club, the bedroom, the love. She taking it all the way there. Like it's just every layer of that song takes you somewhere else.
And you know what? And then the guy, you know, David, that wrote it, right? I just found out maybe a couple of years ago that he, you know, he did a demo for it. And y'all, this dude sounds like Church.
I got to hear that. I have to hear this.
I'm telling you, I was shocked myself. I was like, okay, David, like he sounded like a Sylvester, and he's a white guy.
Wow.
And you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
And it makes all the sense for him to be the writer and then to have great background come out of it, because he is a background singer.
Yep.
Primarily.
Is he still working?
No, he passed. Like,
yeah,
he passed in December of 2021.
Oh wow. Okay, so just recently. Wow.
I about him because my mom loved James Taylor, and he did a lot of background for him. So she loved Taylor. Oh God.
This is a list of the people he did background for. It's very elite.
Okay.
Bonnie Raitt, Luther Vandross, Aretha, Dion, Bette Midler, Dusty Springfield, and Boz Scaggs.
Legendary. Wow.
Every name was a legend.
A singer. Okay. Yes.
And then so then he redid it again in '89, and Luther sung background on that. And you can hear Luther. You can hear, you ain't gonna.
You ain't never gonna miss Luther on the backgrounds now. You ain't never gonna miss Luther on the background. If you miss Luther, you can't hear. You can't. You got something going on if you missing Luther on some back. Wow, that is crazy.
I heard that, and I heard it a couple of years ago, and I was just like, "Yo, he's singing down like
I got to have it."
Like, and I was thinking of Sylvester, and I was just like, when y'all hear it, y'all gonna bug. It's gonna be like, whoo, you know what I'm saying? Like, this coming from a white dude like this, but this white dude has some soul.
I got to have it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
And obviously, once he did in the '89 with Luther, you know, Luther gonna put background up on. So it's very here and now ish.
One thing Luther Rosani gonna do, honey, is sing it. He gonna let you know he's there. All right. Yeah. You gonna hear me. You gonna hear my tone. You gonna hear my little riffs in the back. You gonna hear me grinning because you know I'm out singing just about everybody.
Okay.
Right.
He was gonna be like Prince, be like, my microphone is on.
Okay.
This ain't no RCA recorder. Yes. Yes.
But Anita's version will always be my favorite. It's special. It is.
It got my heart. It's like, if you had to name that song from your girl, everybody says something different. That's always gonna be the one.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Got a lot of songs now, so I don't.
Yeah.
You bring me joy.
Yeah, You Bring Me Joy is definitely my absolute favorite song on Rapture. But my favorite is Fairy Tales, but this is number 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's up there. Yeah.
Fairy Tales is great. It's just great. I have to see her while she's doing her residency. I hope it continues through 2023 or wherever she's going to be performing. I don't know if she's going on the road, if she's going to stay in Vegas, but I have to make it a mission to see her live at some point. I was way too young when she was really, really like doing it like that, like out and touring as a fresh artist. But now I can appreciate it more. You know what I'm saying? You done lived a little bit. You're a little bit older. You can appreciate the things that she's singing about, and just her.
They said she's so amazing live.
Yeah.
Like we got one of our homeboys, Simone. He went out there and he went to go see her, and he was like, he went to go see her. Our sister Mika went to go see her. They said, "Oh, if you love Anita, you have
to do it."
They was like, "You gotta do it," because they was like, "She is amazing," and you know she gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And it was it a single, at least? I don't even think it was a single, was it?
What?
You Bring Me Joy.
They played it on the radio where I was, but that could have been a Cleveland, Detroit thing. So I don't know.
They played it in New York. It was on Quiet Storm all the time. So I don't know if it was.
There was no video though for it, was it? There was no video.
Live. It was like she did it live. That live album she did. What was she called it?
The only singles, huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, the singles off of Rapture were "Sweet Love," Caught Up in the Rapture," "Same Old Love," and "No One in the World."
Okay, which is also a great song. That would probably be "No One in the World." Let me see. "You Bring Me Joy." What's the other one? Oh God, what's the third song?
"Been So Long."
That one.
I miss
that. She in her jazz bag with that. Man, that scatting. Come on, that's my jam. I couldn't think of the name of it. That's a good one. That's it. That whole album, I really can like vibe to right now, today. Like it's like just came out. You know what I mean?
I can, except for one song.
Which one, Mister?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Same Old Love. You don't like it?
I don't. And for one, when it was out, they actually played that a whole lot.
Oh yeah,
a whole lot. I distinctly remember when that came out as a thing. I just thought it was. I mean, singing's fine. I mean, singing's great. It's Anita, but it's goofy to me for some reason. I don't know.
You know what? I think for me, it's more nostalgic because of the video. I just remember her roller skating. I thought, dang, that is so cool. How could she sing and skate at the same time? I was like, dude, this is the coolest woman ever. How did she do that?
I don't think it's terrible, but it got a little corn in it for me. So I don't. So when I listen to it, I usually will skip that song. But every other song.
Got you. I feel that.
Oh,
it's great.
That thing is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
If people give it the perfect album, I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not. I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be a lot of people on these Twitter worlds that give albums be perfect, and you'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And that's also subjective. Like, a lot of it for me has to do with nostalgia because I was like almost a teenager. Well, like a preteen when it came out, but I just remember the memories of hearing it. But yeah, now as an adult, I definitely can play that from start to finish and I won't complain. I'm like, no, I'm good. You ain't got to turn that off. I don't need to skip this. I'm just, it's one of those. But yeah, the perfect. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it can be like, is it? But
are you
to each their own. Is it?
Somebody's like, y'all think this is perfect? Okay.
And I was just thinking about something else. So you know how everybody say, and it's true, that this was a cleanup. The cleanup albums. Anita Baker's was playing when it's time to clean up. But I think people also forget to talk about they played the shit out of all her singles on the radio. Like it was in the car jam too, because she stayed on Black radio. Gave her a lot, which she often acknowledges. Like they gave her a lot.
And so much so that she started to get into pop culture. They were using her on skit shows. They used her on Martin. You remember? So Almond in DMV started singing "You Bring Me Joy" to Martin.
Yeah.
Like, I got a song for you. Like, you ain't no damn Anita Baker. I mean, come on. It was like she was a part of the culture, even in that time. So yeah, she is. I don't know if I have come across a Black person that doesn't go up for Anita for whatever album. I'm looking at you like you are definitely the feds. Because what is your problem? Like how? How do you?
You a op,
right? You the ops for real. How? Even if you don't like this song or whatever, you got to give it up for Anita Baker. You just do. It's Anita Baker, bruh. Like
even if it's not your fave, you have to acknowledge that. That she's amazing. You just have to, even if that
you do.
Even if that's not the kind of music you like, you can't deny that she's amazing.
Can't not mention other singers' names that came from that era and not talk about Anita Baker. It's just not going to happen. It's not happening.
Because we can't say, come on, a lot of people don't, I think a lot of people start with Rapture with her. Like we know her from Chapter 8 and then the song. But if you go from the songstress all the way to My Everything, Anita don't got no bad album at all. She don't have one at all. And the run.
And singing down on every single one. Every one. So.
And the run that she had, because I think people kind of start with Rapture. If you want to go from Rapture to freaking, I give Rhythm of Love, even though that was her time where it was the new class was coming in and different. But that album ain't bad either. Like, for real. The run when Anita had it from Rapture to compositions, what?
Yeah.
And you don't like none of them, you are the feds. I agree.
Sickening. And that's why you can go right now to her show and it's sold out. That's why she can do venues now. And it's Anita Baker. Like how? How do you not love her? I don't know. We I can't see it. I'm sorry. Don't not say it. You don't like Anita Baker around me. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna have a problem. What that say? Immediately no. No. Dead. It's not gonna work.
And was a legend the whole time on her own terms and didn't change what she wanted to do. So records at a time, it didn't make sense for artists like that to sell that kind of record. To such young people. Like, if you think about it, you can't. When that came out, me and my mama old now, but back then my mama was young. She was a young person consuming this. She wasn't 50. She was in her 20s.
Yeah. My mom and aunts too. They were, well, me and my aunt always joke we was fast and hot. She was out in the street and she was partying and going to see her man in Detroit while they was playing Anita Baker. Like she was that it girl. She was that girl.
That's real. That's
you know
real.
what I mean? She was that girl. You gonna put on some Anita Baker? Put your jeans on. We going out. You know that kind of girl. She's that kind of icon.
I'm glad you said that, Elise. That she didn't change. That's what I love, Anita. She never changed. Because again, every album she was coming out with, things were changing. Music was changing. You know what I mean? So once she got into that 88, we know what was popping then. You know what I'm saying? Then 90, it popped again. You know what I'm saying? It was changing again. And forget when she came out in 94, music was completely different.
Completely.
And
True.
she still did I Apologize in Body and Soul. And you had them hip hop dudes and girls still singing them joints. So it was like, she was still the it girl. Like you said,
this is right.
94 and she came out in 83 and people still rocking to Anita. That's when you know she bad. Unfollow me, Anita, please. I love you, son.
Unblock him, she means. Unblock him.
Unblock. Why are you blocked by Anita Baker? What have you done? What did you do? Because she don't play.
That they made up. Yeah. About
he retweeted a joke and she blocked everybody that retweeted or reacted.
Girl, listen, Lydia, it's so many people that has been blocked that we know, right?
Right, I'm sure.
You've been blocked for years.
Oh my God. And now she's active, you gotta ask.
2012, 13?
Holy crap, 10 years?
Yep.
Oh, you might not get unblocked. That's a grudge.
I ain't blocked.
I ain't blocked.
Neither is R&B representative, so I can still see.
Okay.
Girl.
That's the workaround.
Hey,
Got you. Hey, Miss Baker. We love you, Anita. For real, for real. We love you. I go up for Anita Baker.
Yes, she does. And actually, the reason we ended up doing this song because Lydia was going off about this song. I said, well, you should come and on the show.
I was just like, is there a perfect time? No, it's not. So go argue with somebody else because it's not. It's just not. It's a perfect song. And I don't do that a lot. I can be like jokey about, oh, this is a great, but that to me is probably in my like top 5 of perfect songs. For real, for real. That is.
I can agree to I can agree that.
That's my girl.
Well, we thank you again for hanging out with us.
Thank y'all so much for the invite.
Yes, and being your sweet, smart, and funny self.
Thank you.
If you'd like to be found, how could people find you and see the things you're doing?
Let's see. The easiest way to find me would probably be on my blog. My website is Beauty by Lmarie, LMARIE.com, all one word. And everything there is one of my links. You can find all of my channels. It's the same across the board. So I'm out here. Thank y'all so much for having me and going through my allergy spells, trying not to cough to death.
It's all good, girl. We raw and uncut over these parts.
Thank you so much. And hi, Anita. I hope you see this.
Oh, she will.
I'm coming to see you.
Coming for you.
Yes.
I like that. I promise I'm not crazy. But yes, and we'll put all of Lydia's information in the video description so you can check her out. Because we all about bigging up our folks too. It ain't just about us. So on that note,
thank y'all.
You welcome. On that note, we will catch y'all on the next Catch That.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to another fan mini episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite R&B songs. I am naturally Elise, and that's my brother.
JR.
And today we are welcoming a friend of mine and about to be a new friend of JR's, Kojo.
Oh. Hey now. Hey now. Happy fall.
Yes, it is. Autumn.
Hoodie weather, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yes. So if you would like, tell us a little bit about yourself, as much or as little as you would like to share with people.
Well, okay. My name is Kojo. I am very old school, meaning I am 50 plus. Originally from Boston, that bastion of Black culture. Not really. I live in Central Maryland. I am dog crazy, lifelong nonprofit worker. Try to be a do-gooder in the world, bring some light and love everywhere I go. Sometimes that's, through music, and sometimes it's through laughter. Often it's through laughter.
Oh, well, you on the right show then.
Yeah. Yeah. Once upon a time, I was a professional musician, and these days I am a listener.
Oh. Well, how about you tell the folks what song you picked to talk about today, and if you remember the first time hearing it.
So the song that I chose was "What You See Is What You Get" by the Dramatics. Like, I went way, way back, and I chose it in part is like one of the first songs I remember hearing, like, and dancing to in the living room. I was like 4. But my brothers are older. My brother's 11 years older than I am. My mom is 37 years older than I am. So I'm not sure that was her record. I think it was my oldest brother. And I chose it, one, because I just love the message in the song, right? I'm a very authentic, genuine person. And so for me, it's kind of a theme song, but also I chose it because I love that era of music, especially with the brothers, right? They weren't trying to really flaunt. Like, that song is just so authentic. It's like, look, I'm this man, I love you, I'm not gonna front, I'm not gonna put on airs like these other clowns out here.
Come on.
So, and also for me, it takes me back to an age of innocence. Like, I grew up in the hood. The 70s were, a relatively peaceful time. Like, we had, social issues like every other Black community, but in the 80s, crack and gangs hit. So the 70s and 80s in Black communities is a very stark difference. So, and what else? Also, just that era of music, like the late 60s into the 70s, across all genres of music, was just slamming. Like, you can go back and listen to anything in every genre, and you're going to get some cuts that we're still listening to today because they're timeless.
Talk about it.
Absolutely. So what kind of feeling do you get when you hear that song? And what are some of your favorite parts of the song?
It gives me joy. One, those brothers could sing.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite songs to sing, except I can't sing anymore. My voice is going through some changes. Some serious changes. So it used to be much higher, now it's much lower. I say that I'm a baritone Peter Brady these days. My voice is changing. So I love the vocals. I love the dynamics in their range. I love the harmonies. If you look on YouTube, there's a video of them performing live. I think it's Soul Train. And like their suits, their steps, they're just, they're serving it. They're just serving it. And so yeah, it brings me joy. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of being in my living room and dancing with my brothers and my mom and looking out over the avenue. It reminds me, of the fly suits and the fancy cars and hanging out on the stoop, and singing along. We used to have our own groups, like lip syncing all of this, right? So we did Gladys Knight in the Pips when I was a kid.
Come on, Cass.
I was Gladys Knight. That's a whole long story. But anyway, I did not always look like this, put it that way. So, being kids in the 70s, like in the downstairs hallway, doing all the steps, trying to learn the steps and lip syncing. So yeah, it just reminds me of joy. Just joy.
I was happy when you picked this record too, and Elise knows why, because not the horns yet, we're gonna get there, but I'm talking about it actually puts Motown and Stax together for me. And I am such a big Motown and Stax fan. And to know that Johnny Allen actually did the arrangement of the song, and he actually did arranging for Motown, and he did it for Stax. So
Awesome.
to have this record and to have him do the arranging for this, it always be like, yes, because it's always competition between Motown and Stax. So finally I get a record that it's like, it's both of them. Like I could be like, this is Motown and Stax, even though it was on the Stax label, but you had a Motown person involved with it. So it was like, and I love this. And obviously the horns, I'm gonna say it before we get to it. I love horns. I love it. And how it comes right in like, da-da, da-da, da-da. Like, yo, like I was listening to it before we even got on here today, and I know my neighbors was kind of pissed, but I was like, they be all right. But I was blasting it because it just, those horns and the way William sings, he sings so aggressive on this record, and it's needed. He got that grit on it. You know what I mean? And then to find out that you picked this song 2 months ago, like maybe about 2 months ago, I posted this, and like I love that performance, especially when it's like the breakdown and they like, and at least know, man, you will know that I watched the video a couple of times.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna do the joint of the video, but yo, like this song is just so dope. And to know that Michael Henderson is on the bass, like killing it. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to him. Everybody know like Michael done been on everybody's stuff, but the bass and the horn and William to me is like the star of this record. Like, whew, like I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis, because I'm
no, you're good.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes, and what I like, one thing I love about this song is also the name of the group. I like the dramatics. And then further, I tell you, I love the dramatics.
Yes,
it is a thing.
All right.
So I also was very excited that you picked this song. Like
awesome.
And then a lot of people come on and they pick a lot of 80s and 90s. So we like every now and then we love every now and then to go way back, or when somebody does something more recent, because people kind of stay in the middle. So
yeah, I don't listen to a lot of like contemporary music. Like I'm very stuck. Like late 60s, 70s is my thing. Like I was listening to Steely Dan last night. Like, you know, like
it was the anniversary of Asia.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
40th anniversary?
40 or
Cosmos.
40 or 45, I can't.
Oh, we're so music nerds, but okay, go ahead.
No, I just love that era of music. I don't know what it is. I mean, actually, I do know what it is. I think in part, I think the music was pure because capitalism had not quite gotten its hooks into the industry as deeply as it is now.
Yeah.
And also, I think a lot of contemporary musicians and artists in general, like you have to be type A to make it in the industry. And I think in the 60s and 70s, we had more people who were more creatives, right? Who let their managers and everybody kind of do the out front like promo work. You know, they showed up for stuff, but they weren't trying to, you know, make deals. I think that, you know, musicians did get taken advantage of because they didn't have the business acumen. But I mean, and maybe that's just me being nostalgic and being naive about the industry in general. But I just think, I just think people were more creative, less formulaic, and less, you know, trying to make millions, and more about putting out, you know, great music that was going to move people's hearts and minds.
I agree. I totally agree. That's why I love the 70s, because it was so real to me. You know what I mean? And a lot of them get taken advantage of as far as money issues, but they were focused on making good music. They didn't care about that. Like when, you know, going back to like Stevie and Marvin, they rather their music be more, they were focused more on the music rather than money. They like, I'd rather have my artistic freedom than the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it showed a lot. You know what I'm saying? And with this record, I'm glad as far as money, because they could have went to Motown, because the Dramatics wanted to sign with Motown because they from Detroit. So they wanted to sign with Motown, but they said, nah, it's too many people over there. Mm-hmm. We would never get the respect. I mean, this is what, 65, 66. So you got the Temps, the Four Tops, all of them So they was like, you know what? We're going to go to Stax. Then when they went to Stax, it was so crazy because the first record they gave them was very Temptation-ish. So they was like, yo, we out of here. Like, we can't win. Like, we out. So then they was just like, you know what? Forget it. And then that Tony, what's his name? Tony, the guy that produced the record. At least you know I'm horrible with names. What's his last name?
This is what Google is for.
Consult the Google.
Consult the Googles.
Yes. Dang, I forgot his last name. But once he came into the picture and gave them this.
Tony Hester?
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And he came in and when he gave them this record and let them all sing on it. That's what I like. Each of them are getting a part on this record.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Even though William is like really going off and he's the one that's, you know, captivating this record, but them brothers also got to get their little shine on, which I thought was Because a lot of groups, you don't get that. You got the lead and you got the that's why the 70 groups, I give them a lot of fever. You know I was going to go there, at least. I'll give them a lot of fever because I'll be like, okay, Dramatic, Blue Magic, Manhattans, Stylistic, all of them. I'm over it. But this record I love because every last one of them got the shine on it. I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I give them fever. I do.
Which I do not understand at all because you like music that sounds just like it, so I don't get it.
Yeah, we always go, and then I love the OJs as well. So, but I'm getting into it now. Like you gave me an album to start with, so I've been with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really more into the stylistic now. I love the Dramatics. I always liked them, honestly.
Yeah. Well, don't forget the Delphonics, because you didn't mention them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them. Yeah. I threw a little shot at them on the last couple episodes.
You always do that, and I never want to make you like a certain group, but I always want to understand why people don't like stuff, and you will never make me understand that.
Yeah,
because it matches up with what you like, so I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it now. Like I'm into it now. Like you know what I mean. So I'm getting. Thanks to you, because I try to explain it to Elise for real, and then she be like, "But it doesn't make any sense." She always, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is what it is. And she like, you know what? Fine. So yeah. So when you picked the Dramatics, I was like, ooh, we can talk about some of the group that I actually like from a little kid. So it was like, yes.
Because I don't think a lot of people think about the Dramatics when they think about the guy groups back then.
No, they don't.
And I think they stand out. Like, I mean, I think all of those groups try to do their thing, you know, to make their different mark. Like, we're not like these dudes, we're this dudes. But I think the Dramatics they stand out. And I don't know why or what it is, but yeah, they're those cats for me.
And then there was so many of them, because I think William was only on the first album, and that's it. Like, you know, back then there was so many changes in groups. You don't know who was in this, who was there. It was just like, damn, like y'all had a good thing with this, and then it just went on, because this is the same album when In the Rain is on. Right. You know what I'm saying? That Keith Sweat ended up singing.
Watch it.
Look.
Are we gonna lie here or we not?
No, I'm not. Look, I don't understand, but I guess it's swag. I mean, swag. They even have swag. I'm sorry, we're not gonna go down that road.
Yeah. No, I rock with Keith. His impact is here, but we ain't gonna talk about vocals. But this group is dope, and this song is like you said. It takes me back to my family too. Mm-hmm. Like when I hear it, you know what I mean. It just takes me back to me being little and probably completely offbeat. Don't know what the hell I'm doing. And my family is just like, what do you think he doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it takes me back to all of them being here and everybody's around and everybody was here. You know, God bless they so every, you know, a lot.
But
like for that, it just takes me back there. So anytime it comes on, I just smile because I'm like, I could just imagine my grandfather over there going to make him a drink. That's where I get it from, y'all. And you know what I'm saying? And doing that, and then my grandma's cooking in the kitchen, and my mom and my uncle is here, and it was just, you know, this song is just so hit. So when I played it this morning, it kind of just made me smile the whole time listening to it, because I'm like, this brings me back to where all my family was here. So
yeah, see, now I'm having flashbacks to that living room again and my mom's little cocktail parties. And Aunt Sylvia and Auntie Pearl, and my uncles, and the cups of brown liquor.
Come on, okay, this is a brown
and the orange plush couch with the green carpets, and that coffee table that I bumped my head up against so many times running around it.
Oh,
yeah. I love it. Yeah, and look, this was again the time where Black artists, where they would cross over, but like you were saying before, but it was pure and it was creative, you know, and what you see is what you got. Like, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, because like this crossed over. It was a top 10 Billboard record. And it actually did really well in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, we up there too, so.
Yeah.
You know what, sis, too, we were talking about a little before we came on here, how it sounded. Like you said, it gave you that early 60s, but with a
twist on it.
A twist on it. And I had to think about it for a second, because I was like, when you were saying, I was like, yo, you right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it sounded like Booker T and the MGs did it.
And
they might have did, but I don't know who. But I'm mad, y'all. I want to know who played this horn. Like, for real. Like, I don't know who did, but like Elise said, it does give you 60s for real, but it still has that 70s swag to it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you had me thinking about that one, sister. When you said it, you saw when I went,
Yeah, you gave me that face where you're like, where's she going with this?
Yeah, right.
I get that face a lot.
I was like, oh, you right. Like, you right. Like, this joint really is that. It's that, but it's the Stax flavor. Like, that's just what it is. So, you know.
It was like, what, 1972? So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's when, Philly come in and run it.
It's like to come kick down the buildings. Boy.
You ain't lying there.
So, pardon the background noise. This is how I live.
Oh, no. I ain't even noticed we running out my feet.
Oh, cool.
Right, I really do. I really.
Yes. Oh, man. So, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, thank God it wasn't me. You know how I do. In a minute.
So special.
Don't give too much. Don't give too much.
See, now I need to find a good Spotify playlist for the 70s men's groups and clean this apartment.
Oh.
Do we have a radio show about that?
No, we don't. Thanks. We have one now.
All right.
We got one now because we don't have no.
How the hell did we manage?
Girl, I don't even know, but we got one now.
Awesome.
Yes.
Inspiration.
Hey. My good deed for the week is done.
Yes.
And we're gonna play this as the first song in the
Talk about you. Yeah.
Oh yes.
We're giving credit where credit is due, y'all.
I appreciate that.
So silly.
Inspiring hearts and minds.
Yes. You know, and the little ways seem to matter more. So
absolutely.
Right.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. I was like, you were like, do you want to be on my show? I was like, finally. I was like, why hasn't Alita? I like music.
Yes, you got to come back and do another great song.
Okay.
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay. The wheels are turning.
Yes. 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 Well, If you would like to be found, where can people find you?
You can't. I am not on the socials in that way. I have my little contained circle of peoples.
Respect.
I know that's right.
That's why I always preface it with it. If you want to be.
Nope. You can find me somewhere in Central Maryland hanging out with the dogs on my couch with some crochet, typically listening to some music.
I know that's right.
Respect. Yes.
All right. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you for doing this. Like this is a real joy and a gift.
Oh,
so,
hey. Yes.
Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in once again, and we consider our viewers family. So bring us some more cousins on over.
Great.
You know, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. Well, all that R&B, and I'm so corny. And we will catch y'all on the next Catch That.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, y'all.